Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video we are going to explore function overloading in C++. So we'll cover what is function overloading, we'll try to understand it, and then we'll see some examples of it, followed by how function overloading works in C++, and then we'll see some practical examples of it. So okay, let's get started. So function overloading is a feature of object-oriented programming where two or more functions can have the same name but different parameters. So this is very straightforward definition that function overloading of a function means that the function will have the same name but they will have different parameters that is passed to them. So by saying different parameters, it is either depending on the types of the parameters that we are passing, or the number of arguments or parameters that we are passing is different for different functions. Now it is a compile time polymorphism. So we'll understand this, how it is a compile time polymorphism, while seeing the working of the function overloading. So here let's take an example. So here we see that we have a function, test function. So there are four test function, each having the same name, test test test, but the number of argument passed is different, right? So here there are no argument passed to this test function. Here we are passing one argument but of integer type arguments. Here we are passing one argument but of double type, right? And here we are passing two argument, with one with integer type, another with a double type. So even though the name of the function here is same, but the argument passed to it is different. So these four functions are overloaded functions, because we saw the definition that if the function name is same but the argument passed to them is different, then it is a function overloading. So these four functions are overloaded. Now you take a look here that the return type of this function. So return type of the function may be or may not be same in function overloading. So basically this does not play any role in overloading of a function. So return type does not play any role in overloading of a function. Only the name of the function should be same and the argument that is passed should be different, then it is up, those all functions are overloaded. Now let's take how this function overloading works in so here I have defined, let's say I have three function, void add three function. So in one function we are passing integer a and integer b as an argument. In second add function we are passing integer a and double b as an argument. In third add function we are passing integer a, integer b and integer c. Now when we call this add 3 5, right, so this function is basically mapped to the best possible match for that add function. So here add function, when you see here that both arguments here are 3 5 are integer type, so it will look for the best possible match for the out of this all add function. So it is in the first one, right, the int, both arguments here also is int. So basically this 3 5 is mapped to this particular function. So this call of this function will go and execute inside this function. So this is done at the compilation of the code itself, and that is why function overloading is compile time polymorphism. Now second, when we call this second add function 4 2.5, so it will look for the best possible match. The first one is int argument and second one is double argument. So this call will go and execute inside this particular add function. Similarly here we are calling with three arguments, 3 4 5, so all are integer, so it will go and execute inside this particular function. So that this is how the function overloading works. So it's basically looks for the best possible match for the function having the best possible match of the arguments. Now let's take an example in C++ and see how it works. So here I have defined those all three functions, and I'm calling those three functions. So first add 3 5, so both are integer, so it should land inside this particular function. The second calling should go and execute inside this particular add function, because one is int and second argument is double, int and double. And third 3 comma 4 comma 5 should land inside this particular function, because we are calling add with three different arguments, and here this is the one with three different arguments. So let's execute this one and see the output of this program. Yes, so see here, when we call the add 3 comma 5 for the first time, so it goes and inside this function sum of int a comma b is 8. Next time when we call add 4 comma 2.5, so it goes inside this function sum equal to 6.5. And when we call add 3 comma 4 comma 5, so it goes inside this function, so new sum equal to 12, it's right. So now let's take another example and see what happens when when we are calling 3 comma 4 comma 2.5, but this particular, let's say this particular add function is not defined. So this will still go and look for the best possible match, right? So it first argument is int, so it will go for the first argument is int in both. The second argument is float double type, but here also it is not a double type, here also it is not a double type, but there is no third argument, right? Here also no third argument. So the best possible match for this calling this add 4 comma 2.5 is going to be this particular function, right? So this particular call will go and execute inside this function. So let's run this one and see. So see here, when you run this program, so it's throwing an warning that this 2.5 is an double type integer, this 2.5 is double type variable, but there is no best match, like exact match for this calling, so it was going to execute inside this function, and 2.5 double type is going to be converted as an int type, right? So that is where this 2.5 is going to be changed to 2 because integer 2.5 is a double type, and the argument here is an integer type, so 2.5 will be changed to 2. Okay, so let's see the output now. So you see here that first function is working as expected, add 3 comma 5, so it went here 538. Now the second call 4 comma 2.5 is still going inside this function sum of int a comma b, but the value is 6 here because 2.5 is reduced to 2, and third function is executing inside this function, right? So this is how the function overloading works in C++. So basically it looks for the best possible match for the defined functions, and then it map that particular calling to that best possible matching functions during the compilation itself. Okay, so hope it's clear that what is function overloading and how it works in C++. So if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comments. I will try to help you for sure. Thank you.